In a fiery showdown on GB News, Steve Reed found himself engulfed in outrage after claiming that migrants could soon be placed in low-cost modular homes on old military bases. But he wasn't prepared for Ellie Costello's relentless grilling. Question after question, she absolutely tore into him. Do you really believe locals want migrants housed on military sites? Is that your grand solution? Is that honestly the best Labour can offer? What followed was pure chaos. Reed's frustration boiled over, leaving viewers stunned at how far Labour's policies have gone. Watch the full clip before judging for yourself, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comments.
Being wasted by the Home Office on migrant hotels. So the Home Office has allowed 10-year contracts to triple in cost, from 4.5 billion up to 15.3 billion. Also failing to claw back money that they're owed, £45 million. Why is the Home Office struggling to get the basics right?
Well, I mean, these contracts are atrocious. They're wasting money and they're piling up people in hotels for years, and we've seen some of the social consequences of that, as well as the consequences for those individual people. You know, we inherited those from the previous government, and we know we need to change the system. So what the government's looking to do is, how can we build more cheap accommodation, say modular homes on disused army bases or military bases, and get asylum seekers into that accommodation, which is far lower cost, and save the taxpayer money. We've already saved £1 billion by changes we've made, but we know we need to save more. But then we also need to process the applications faster. The previous government chose not to process them at all. It's why there are so many people in the hotels. We put hundreds of new caseworkers in, process the applications faster, and then you can remove those people who have no right to be in our country. And we've already removed 35,000 since the election, which is a record. So that's work in progress. It's not job done. We've saved £1 billion, but we know we need to end the use of asylum hotels, and we will do it well within the lifetime of this Parliament. We're looking at military bases as a means to get that done more quickly.
Do you think, though, that British people want migrants on military bases in their local area? Is that really the silver bullet? Is that the best you've got?
No, absolutely not. No, the British people want people who have no right to be here removed quickly. And the point of increasing the number of caseworkers and then doing a one-in, one-out deal with France is so that we can identify those individuals and then remove them. We're already removing a record number, 35,000 since the election, but we know we need to go further. But because of the backlog that we inherited, we need to put those people somewhere. Well, let's cut the costs and let's look at military bases temporarily for housing people rather than hotels, which cost much more money.
Talking about costing money, Steve, the Home Office, I mean, we've got the front page headline in the Mail today, billions wasted on hotels for migrants. What do you think you're going to do to examine what the Home Office is doing and how it is spending money?
Well, I know that the Home Secretary is looking at that already. She's already ordered a rapid review into the use of taxi companies to get people to a GP appointment or a dentist appointment where they could have taken public transport or they could have walked. Excuse me. So she's looking at that already. But in the long term, Eamon, and I don't mean very long term, within the lifetime of this Parliament, we want to end the use of hotels. They're costing far too much money. There are people making an awful lot of money out of failings in the way that those contracts were drawn up by the previous government. If we can build modular accommodation quickly on disused military bases, we can cut the cost, but then we need to process the applications faster, and that's why we've recruited hundreds more caseworkers, so that those who have no right to be in the country can be removed. And that is the tough approach that the public want to see.
Just before we let you go this morning, we have to ask you about Haidush Kabatu, the asylum seeker who was jailed for sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl in Epping, mistakenly released from prison on Friday, and it took 48 hours to find him. How did this happen? And should the Justice Secretary, David Lammy, go? We've just been speaking to the Conservatives, and they say heads have got to roll over this.
Well, it's unbelievable, first of all. Unbelievable that this could have happened. I was as shocked as everyone else when I saw the alert come up on my phone over the weekend. Hard to believe this could have happened. And yet we know we've got a broken justice system. I hear what you say the Conservatives have said, but they broke the criminal justice system. Remember, they ran out of prison places, so there was nowhere to put people that got a custodial sentence. They sacked a third of the people working in that service. And when you break a system, then problems happen like the one we've seen.
But
the
with
Justice
respect,
Secretary,
we're talking
David
about the
Lammy,
here
will
and
be
now.
speaking in the Commons behind me.
We're talking about the here and now. This happened under your watch. How could you let such a high-profile prisoner who has sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl out by mistake?
Yep. Yes, catastrophic. So David Lammy will be answering questions in the Commons behind me today, and he will be announcing the new checks that would be put in place to make sure this kind of thing cannot happen again. It's unacceptable.
The prison officers say they've got no capacity for that.
We need to make sure it doesn't happen in the future.
And the prison officers are saying they've got no capacity for additional checks.
When the Justice Secretary stands up in the Commons and tells them they will carry out these checks to stop accidental releases, they will follow his orders. We will not tolerate this as a government or as a country, seeing convicted criminals set loose by accident. Absolutely unacceptable.